Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Welcome to another episode of the Chaps Chat Cats, but this time with extra chappage. It's me, Jake, it's Sambo, it's Johnny, but it is also... Oh, you're still waiting for me. Am I going? Am I live? Ben put up 5 fingers. Is that 5 seconds or 5 members of the Hoops crew?
5 members of the Hoops crew.
You've thrown me, Ben. I was on a flow. It's Ben and Paul. It's extra chappage. It's the 2026 all-in season launch here on the Hoops crew. Thrilled to be live once again. The new software, Ben. It's working.
It's working. We actually have a chat feature as well. Look at this. It's working. Let us know what your bold predictions are.
Oh,
wild.
Absolutely. Yeah,
wild.
Get in there with your bold predictions. So look, chaps, and I mean all 5 chaps. Now that I know it's 5 chaps, not 5 seconds. I panicked. I've got to be honest. I panicked. Summer. It's almost in the rearview mirror. The leaves are going to start falling off the trees soon, which means autumn is going to be here. Footy is here. And to kick things off for the season, I mean, we've got a Cats game on Friday. This is the all-in Hoops Crew season launch. We're going to look at the list for 2026. We're going to tell you who to buy, who to hold, who to maybe sell in the 239th annual Stonks extravaganza. And we'll round out the show by making our bold predictions for the season. But first up, I'm going to throw to Ben here because we've got a bit of a channel update on how things are going to run week to week in 2026. So, yeah, I'll handball to you here, Ben, for the channel update.
Thank you, Jake. You hit me on the fly with the handball there, running into goal. Bang, straight through the middle. Very nice. We're off to a good start now. It is Monday night, Jake. And Monday nights from now on in 2026 will be the Chaps. So we've been doing the live things. This must be our 4th week of live shows, Jake, I think. Well, I know you had
fourth
your
or fifth.
4th or 5th or something like that anyway. So, but every Monday night from now on, somewhere between 6:30, 7:30, something in that realm, depending on sort of availability and so forth. So that'll be good. That'll kind of just front end the week a little bit. It won't be too sort of like late in the week that we can't review the games. We can still touch on the game that was just played. Sometime I think last year we might have had the Chaps on a Tuesday or Wednesday. It's probably a little bit later on in the year, so we've brought it forward a little bit, which is going to be good, and hopefully the live stuff will be good. I'll be in the background. I might pop my head in on the shows every now and then, but I'll try to be in the background, helping out a little bit from time to time as well with the odd soundbite and so forth. Tuesdays. Now, Paul, have I told you about this? Paul, Tuesdays, you're doing enough of the week. Hopefully you'll have that recorded, ready to go, nice and early.
I didn't know when it was. didn't know when it was scheduled, but considering I sent you a text only half an hour to an hour ago, going, "This is our enough topic for the week. We're already ready to get going." So
easy. So that works quite nicely.
AFL Olympic endeavour. You've made it nice and easy.
Little spoiler there for anyone watching us live. So yes, Tuesdays is our enough spot. We might squeeze in the odd little opinion piece in there as well, but yeah, we've got Tuesday evenings set aside for our enough of the week. Wednesdays is show us your tips. I know, Paul, you wanted me to go with just the tip, but I thought I didn't want to copy True Footy. Jesse from True Footy's got just the tip, so we've gone with show us your tips. Equally vulgar, but we'll see how that goes. And I am coming for it all this year. I'm going to win every comp that I've entered, so that is the plan. And I have dropped the tipping strategy video already, but I've got my first proper round 1 video dropping on Wednesday night. So that'll be every Wednesday, probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'll drop those ones. They'll be pre-recorded. They won't be live, as is the Nuff one, unless you want to do a live Nuff Paul. But most of those will be pre-recorded. Thursday, the Paul James show. Now, I did suggest to Paul that maybe we get away from the Paul James show, but no, he insisted we've got to keep the name Paul James. No, I actually didn't have that conversation. But Paul loves the name, the Paul James show, and is absolutely wedded to that. So we're staying with that name again in 2026. Are you excited about that, Paul?
it'd be good to. Well, I mean, I've been doing it for a couple of weeks now, haven't I? So,
You have. You have.
so, yeah, it's good to get back into it. We've obviously thinned it down from 2 per week to 1, which is probably good scheduling wise because of one of the other things you'll talk about shortly.
Yes, definitely. Now Jake's got Jake and +1, I believe, is on Fridays. We've got the twos or the Magoos, or it's called the twos, but it's essentially our reserves team. Jake, do you want to tell us a little bit about that on a Friday evening?
Yeah, so the twos has been pretty much a Patreon exclusive part of the Hoops crew for the last couple of years. Basically, just a chance for me to watch the VFL, do a bit of amateur scouting, and tell you how either the young rookie players are going, or maybe some of the fringe veterans. You know, for Jed Buse or a Collar Jasny or someone is working their way back through the twos. That's sort of the purpose of the show. It's not so much about updating you on the week-to-week game result. It is very much about player performance and analysing the development of those players. And yeah, this year Sambo is going to jump in where he can to make it a 2-person show. There will be the full Patreon show will be up on basically whatever day I record it. So for the Patreon subscribers, they get a full, half an hour to an hour show as soon as it is recorded during the week. And then Friday, I'll be dropping a section of the show here on YouTube. So generally what we'll do there is we'll just slice out one player that week. Maybe it's a relevant, player. Maybe Jay Polkinghorn has a massive game, or, Ollie Henry kicks a bag or something like that. We'll isolate that for the YouTube audience. So that'll be up every Friday. Patreon, you'll get a full show earlier in the week usually. So that's how the twos will work this season.
Hopefully, we'll get some bit of a focus on Toby Conway at some stage, Jay, because you'd imagine they'll bring him back through the VFL, and so I'm sure everyone will be keen to see how he's progressing. And what's it on ABC now? I think the coverage, is that right? Channel 2 or ABC, whatever they call it these days. I think it's no longer on Channel 7 anyway.
That's what's been promised. I'm hoping they have every game. I suppose even if it's not broadcast on ABC, I'm assuming it'll still get live streamed on the AFL's website.
Hopefully.
Even though Channel 7 don't have it. Hopefully, otherwise I will be up shit creek if they're not showing all the games.
You'll be looking at the stats.
Doing a lot of driving.
You're looking at the score sheet, and that's basically going off. But no, check that show out. It is a very popular show, the twos. I'm actually shouldn't be surprised how popular it is, but there is an appetite to find out how the young fellas are going at the VFL level. So every Friday, check that one out. And on game day, we've got game day, whatever day that is. The fixture's crazy. It's getting crazier year on year, but we've got post-game live. That's continuing in 2026. Now, there's been a mutiny. I am stepping down from post-game live. I'm spending more time with my wife and getting some more sleep. But Paul has kindly offered to step in, and you're going to do that for 5 hours every week, Paul? Is that the plan? Post game live?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Sleep when you're dead. Yep.
Yeah. Look, it's gonna be good. Take the reins. It'll be good fun, and then we'll just send you in when I can't be fucked, really.
Exactly. It'll be every other week, probably.
Yeah, we're far enough into the stream I can start swearing. Yep.
Yep. Post-game Paul says Shadoo. There you go. That works, Shadoo. Bang. Look at the graphics. It's going very nicely. So I'll fill in every now and then. I'll probably aim to, if Paul will have me, I'll aim to be a guest early in the piece. I won't hang on too long because I know there'll be lots of callers that want to chat to Paul and talk about the game and the result and so forth. So that's game day.
And roaming will get upset the longer you talk.
Exactly. That's true. So roaming's very happy. There you go, roaming. Yay, Paul. Roaming's very happy that you're taking over. We are going to try and do a watch party show as well. So we've kind of played around with that a little bit last year, sort of mostly at the back end to varying degrees of success. We are going to try and roll that out again in 2026. So that'll be a bit of a mix of me and possibly some other guests. And I don't know if Jake might have a crack at it at some stage. We'll see how we go with this new live sort of setup that we're sort of building in the back end and in our new streaming platform. But we've got to test some things out. So look forward to a few watch parties. It might be dependent upon whether it's it'll be mostly interstate games, I should say that, and it may be dependent upon whether it's on free to air because we've got a KO account but only one screen, so I can't be stealing the screen and having Mrs. Hoops looking over my shoulder to try and watch the game. So that's probably not going to be fair. So it might have to be channel 7 plus or whatever. And the other one, Jake and I floated around a little bit, and John and Sam, I'm not sure if you were keen on this as well, was the a bit of in the lead up to it. So like the morning of or early afternoon, a bit of a show called Game Day, which is the day of the game, just before the bounce or before the ball up, having a bit of a chat, a bit of a live show if possible, having a bit of a chat about what we think about the game, just before it all starts. I'm keen to sort of try that. I'll see how that goes. That won't be an every week type of thing, but I'm going to try and introduce that and see how that goes through 2026 as well. Also, just rounding this little section up, Jake.
Sounds fun.
Get on with it. We've got our previews, our reviews or reactions, and our opinion pieces as well. So, and probably a few other things that we're going to do that I haven't thought of yet. But I think we've finally got to the point where we've got this live stuff working well. So it has taken a little while, and we've left it to about 4 days out from the season starting. But it's exciting. There you go, Jake. I'm going to take a breath.
Better late than never.
Better late than never.
All right, get some oxygen, Ben. Game day, the Game Day show, like, the idea of a pre-game, Ben says it won't be every week, unless, of course, it happens to do like 1,000 views or something, and then, of course, there'll be every effort made to make it a weekly thing. We're nothing if not attention whores. All right, so we're this part of the show looking at the list. Love some alliteration. Looking at the list. And as in the words of Ben's famous Hoops Crew anthem, we're dropping Pussytown facts, mids, forwards, and backs, as well as some ruck as well. Now, what we're going to do is we're breaking this up into position groups. I'm going to give a leading question.
He did.
Spit take from Ben. So look, I'll tee it up like this. Last year, the Cats, they went within reaching distance of the flag. They had their hand swatted away by back-to-back premiership effort of the Brisbane Lions. The Cats, they were linked with a bunch of different targets during the trade and free agency period. They ended up bringing in only a single player in former Hawk James Worpel. We're going to dive into the list, position group by position group, and assess where the Cats are at as they get ready to launch what should be another flag assault. And we will start down back. And Sambo, I'm going to come to you first here. Now, the Cats, they're long renowned as having one of the league's most miserly backlines. Their defenders, though, they copped some heat in 2025. Sam de Koning was again tried in the ruck before moving back to defence, where his performances were picked at by Cats fans. Connor O'Sullivan was pretty exceptional, but of course is a second-year player, so he had his moments. But even Tom Stewart and Zach Guthrie, they copped flack for some of their turnover kicks. Lawson Humphrey and Jack Henry, they were spared the ire of their home fans. And Mark O'Connor played some career-best footy down back. Despite the angst, the Cats still ranked 4th best for points conceded per game overall, and we're actually the second best defensive team away from home in terms of points conceded per game. But how are you feeling about the backline, Sambo, to kick off this conversation for 2026? Is there a cause for concern, or is there a perceived weakness that's maybe actually not a real one?
I mean, I'm not super concerned. I don't know how you guys are feeling. I feel like similar to the team overall last year, when things went wrong, we looked really bad because of the way we were going wrong. But I don't actually think that the issues were necessarily as bad as our worst would have you think. So I feel like we were pretty strong. It was just that game style we were playing was really, we would bite off some pretty risky passages, and we sort of left ourselves exposed. Sometimes, like, in a sort of repetitive fashion where we just couldn't get a grip on the game further downfield, and then that put our backline under extra pressure. So some of the stars looked maybe off their game when they actually weren't. But so I don't feel like panicked, as in if it's as bad as last year. I still think it's pretty good, as we said. Overall, still ranked pretty well, and a lot of the players like Lawson and Connor O'Sullivan as well, they're going to have a bit more time, a bit more game time, another preseason under their belt, a little bit longer in the system. So I think hopefully the strengths will remain and the weaknesses will be sort of patched up a little bit. But I think if our style is a similar style, there's still going to be times when it looks bad and everyone after the game says, oh, the defence was disorganised, the defence can't hold up, what was Tom Stewart doing over there? And I think often it's just a product of what's happening further down the field as opposed to a giant gaping hole in the back line. So, yeah, all of that to say, I'm feeling pretty good about the defence. We've got some really good players down there. I guess it's a bit of an asterisk on where De Koning's going to be. We'll just sort of have to wait and see a little bit, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, throw it open. Anyone else got any thoughts on the back line, how it shapes up in 2026? Optimistic, concerned, specific players?
Pretty optimistic about next year. As Sam said, like the players that are there are just going to get better each game, each pre-season they go through. Our senior players are still going to play at the absolute best. So, yeah, I've got really no concerns about our defensive unit this year because it's pretty much the same, except our younger guys are just getting better. So thumbs up for me. I can't see any issues, can't see any weaknesses. And I think we'll be pretty much a really good defensive team yet again.
I was going to say
Paul,
Lawson Humphreys will just go from strength to strength this year, and I probably should save this for the bold predictions later. And I've got a different bold prediction, but I will say that Lawson Humphreys is going to absolutely tear the competition apart in his third year. I reckon he's ready to pop, and yeah, I think the backline's going to look a little bit different. I mean, Tom Stewart will be Tom Stewart. And Guthrie's fantastic, and Jack Henry will probably have a better year than he did in the last couple. I just think I'm not too concerned about the back line as much as I am in maybe other parts of the ground. Lawson, future captain, says Frank Gardner. Lawson will rise this year, says Roaming Craig.
I can
We've
see
got
that.
about 17 future captains.
17 future captains. What do you reckon,
then
Paul?
Ben,
Sorry.
Paul, I was just going to say, like, to sort of round out this chat for each position group, I wanted to basically do a grading. So maybe I'll throw to one of you at the end of every segment, and the grading is basically 1, you're absolutely confident, your bowels are intact. 10 is absolutely we're shitting our pants. Our underwear is full of defecation. Like, where's your concern level? Are you 1? Are you 10? Are you somewhere in between, Paul, about defence?
Why did I have to be the one that starts talking about shitting myself? I understand that I'm the one that tends to wade into this really puerile shit during post-game live or the Paul James show or whatever. But bail me out a little bit here. Anyway,
Paul's got a turtle head, everyone. Turtle reference.
It's called a turtleneck. Yeah,
Are you turtling, Paul? Are you turtling?
We've really hit the gutter, and I haven't even really done anything yet. But no, the defense is something I'm not particularly concerned by. I guess you said 1 was least concerned through to 10 the most concerned.
Yeah,
probably like a 2. Because I think there's areas for improvement, and I think a number 2, funnily enough. There's obviously, I think, areas where we're going to develop in that space. We talk about someone like Lawson, and of course Ben comes up with a bold prediction. Wouldn't expect anything else. I'm sure he can't go with Lawson there because he's going to tip Essendon for the top 4 again.
No, I won't.
But
drop your turtles.
No, I mean, but like between Lawson, his development, Connor O'Sullivan's going to continue to develop. Like in going through all the previews, I got a smack between the eyes with the reminder of just how young Jack Henry is still, for example. Like I've kind of, he feels like he's been there forever. It feels like it was 5 years ago when I anointed him foreskin, because when things got hard, he disappeared. And yet, actually, that was only 2 years ago, and I had to walk back the negative sentiment really quickly. I think there's a lot of strengths to that back line. There's still a bunch of young guys coming through, and I think Sambo, to your point, and I guess it'll eventually segue over to my bit talking about midfielders. I think the defensive problems that we face don't actually stem from the defenders. So, yeah, it's a 2 out of 10 concern for me.
Yeah, well, Shadu is saying the diaper is full. I just saw in the YouTube chat, so Shadu's clearly got some defensive concerns. Well, yeah, no, you're right. Let's. I'm assuming we're all basically in the same boat. Where I'm very
Pretty much,
not
yeah.
concerned about the defense. That means we can pivot then into the midfield. So, various opinions around Geelong's midfield last year. There were career best seasons for Bailey Smith, Max Holmes, Tom Atkins. They all landed in the pros column. There were some bleak performances in a collection of games against Carlton and Brisbane that sort of stood out as exposure points in the cons side of the bracket. This is where the Cats have arguably added the most depth in the off-season. They acquired James Worpel and essentially get a fresh player in Tanner Bruin returning to the team. So they're, potentially batting 2 AFL level mids deeper than last year. How much difference do you think those 2 guys are going to make for the Cats in 2026, Paul? And just in general, what are your sort of opening thoughts and statements about the 2026 midfield for the Cats?
So as far as the additions are concerned, obviously, and I think the sentiment has been fairly mixed when it comes to picking up James Worpel. I think from different Cats fans, I think everyone would agree, as you said there, Jake. He's an AFL grade footballer, but is he the sort? And I don't think anyone would dispute that. Even the most aggressive Hawthorn haters, as probably some of us are. He's an AFL grade footballer, but I don't know if he was the acquisition that we needed, I suppose. Now, I'd love to be proven wrong. Don't get me wrong. I think having depth is fantastic, and I'm not necessarily saying he's coming in as a depth player either, but he certainly creates additional depth. I think there was other players that we probably needed more, didn't work out. You obviously referenced at the beginning, all the players that were linked to the Cats, and I probably linked half of them myself through a dedicated video at some stage and created problems as a result. So I'll take some of the responsibility for that. But look, I'm not completely sold on the impact that he will have, but we certainly bat deeper with him though, so I'm not going to object to that. As for Tanner Bruin, obviously he is almost like a free recruit, but I'm most interested to see how we actually use him. The practice game and seeing him playing off half back was a big eye opener for me. I didn't really expect that. Now we could be jumping to conclusions if we think, oh no, he's playing half back, because he could just be getting eased back into AFL level football by being in a role that's a little less intensive in terms of the physicality, and just get there, read the game again, get yourself back up to speed. That could have been part of the rationale, because I think he's. I'd imagine the coaches probably agree that he would still play his best football in the guts, but it was certainly an interesting one. So I'm keen to see how they use him. It could be a case of, because you've now got so many rolling through there, that they really need to share roles, not just through the mid, but through defense, through the forward line. Maybe Bailey Smith, I'm just throwing names and stuff out here, but maybe Bailey Smith with a bit of a forward background spends a bit more time up forward to allow players to roll through, and maybe Tanner goes at half back to allow players to roll through. This could be all part of that midfield blend, and making sure that not just sharing the load for the sake of sharing the load, but to actually leverage different players' strengths and target the needs of the game. Maybe this is how you kind of shuffle the pieces around a little bit. So I'm kind of keen to see what they do there. That said, and I guess to link it to what we were just talking about with the defence, I think that the defensive output from the midfielders has probably been the thing that's brought us undone at points. And I don't even know if that's because they're lacking in intent or want or any of those sorts of things. I just don't know if, because we play such an aggressive game, you are obviously going to turn the ball over at points. It's natural. And we're playing such a rebounding game these days that you should expect the ball to slingshot the other way. But I don't know if we're necessarily, at least last year, structuring ourselves as well as we could behind the play on words, to Ben, let's get the show up and running, for God's sake. No. No, I don't know if we're structuring ourselves necessarily, our midfielders even behind the play, to actually nip some of these fast breaks on the run. In the bud. So I think that's a potential area for improvement for the Cats in the midfield realm. Aggressively, offensively, we're fine. Defensively, I think we can just structure up a little bit better.
Question from Sarah Robinson in the chat. Do we think Jezza will be in the first game? Opening round.
Yes.
I think so.
Oh,
I'll be surprised.
no news is good news at this point, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yep.
I reckon he'll be there.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that sentiment. Yeah, it's interesting defensively in the midfield. Like, I thought something that got exposed at times was like the defending out of stoppages. Like, I felt like we got scored against heavily. You know, teams being able to take a ball away from a clearance situation. You know, I'm trying to remember back whether there were times where I suppose teams did pick their way through at times through our midfield structure, you know, say kicking out from the back or on turnover, but like something that I actually thought there were times in that Brisbane game where we held up remarkably well. Like, they are so good at picking their way down the field. And I thought it's that telltale thing, isn't it? Like, for Geelong, it's such a win when you see the opposition have to go long.
Yeah.
You know, where that's the kick you're waiting to see, is like, please, at some point in this chain of possession, be forced to kick long, because I think if they're disciplined enough to keep it short, to keep it sharp and change the angles, then I think that's where we are opened up. Do any of you other lads have thoughts on the midfield in general?
I think Ben covered it pretty... not Ben, Paul, sorry.
Don't give that guy any more oxygen.
Taking it.
sorry, Paul. I apologise.
I give Paul his notes anyway.
Yeah,
It's enough.
yeah, I think Paul covered it pretty well.
I ignore most of them.
Pretty much agree with what Paul said, but be interesting to see what happens with the mix of midfielders. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually play with, what they do, how they manage this midfield group now with Warple and Tanner Bruin back.
Don't forget, Ollie Dempsey is going to play more midfield time than he
half
ever
forward.
has before. I think he'll.
He's going half forward. I said earlier in the
Yeah.
he's playing half forward.
He's going to be a premium mid.
You wait and see.
He's going to be a superstar mid. I'm sure of it. I feel like it's Gary Jr. all over again. He's just that good. He's that good.
As long as he kicks his 45 goals this year, I'll be happy.
What did he finish on last year in the end?
35.
30 something. Yeah.
That's a good
30
output
something.
for a wingman.
Oh yeah. It's not Gary Ablett senior level for a wing, but it's pretty good still.
Slightly different eras.
Kicked like 80
So
goals in a wing.
What do you... Sambo, do you reckon there's any chance, like, with the depth, you know, we just talked about Warple coming in, like, you've got Warple back in, you've got Bruin back in. How do you feel about those guys coming in, say, ahead of, like, George Stevens, maybe ahead of Jai Clark? Like, do you think that's a tick in that it's actually, it's raised the floor of our midfield group and set the bar even higher for those guys to get into the midfield situation? Or do you think it's sort of like, you know, do you think that James Warple's a bit of a progress stopper? What are your thoughts on that element of it?
Well, I mean, I'll put a little bit of a pin in it until we get to the stonks department, because there is Warple chats to be had. But I feel okay overall, but I wonder, I don't know, I wonder if Warple's a little bit of one of those, like, it's not at the same level, and it's not quite as a like for like comparison, but almost like one of those players like Isaac Smith coming in, like a player to kind of like bring something and allow some of the other guys to like come up to the level. But yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I guess if I'm being honest, if I'm not trying to act like I've got any kind of crystal ball here, I don't really know. I would like to see some more of the young guys, but I'm also not someone that's always been like, blood the youth, get him in there, baptism of fire kind of thing. Like I'm happy for for if Warhol can sort of prove his mettle and what he brings to the team, I couldn't really give a shit where the players come from as long as they're playing in the hoops and they're doing what they're meant to do.
Yeah.
Nicely said.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll round out the midfield section by throwing to John. John, on the scale of it, are your bowels intact? Are you calm and even-minded? Or do we have to order a clean-up on aisle 10?
We definitely
Where
don't
are you
need a
at with the
clean up.
midfield?
I'm about a 3
Yeah.
to 4 area.
Okay. A bit of urgency there. Like, sort of like,
Not
hey, I
too
had a
much,
big
just-
breakfast.
It's just sort of that.
You know, might
What
need to
is-
find somewhere at
yeah.
some point.
I think it's always been a bit of one of those things for the Cats where midfield hasn't always been the strongest against other midfields. So it's just that. Is it going to be similar to last year, or are these two new players really going to turn things around? And, you know, we haven't seen anything yet from the 2 preseason games. So I'm just a little bit concerned, not hugely, but there's just that little bit of not sure how it's going to all fit together nicely.
Really, your 3 or 4 is just like
You
a
don't
good Eclipse mint or so, right? Like you pop the mints, everything's really good, just like the midfield, and then all of a sudden, when it turns fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we saw
You
that
don't
last year.
necessarily want to get stuck
there's
in
your 3 or 4.
traffic, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which seemed to happen
Alright,
to us a bit
That means
last year.
I can pivot into discussion about the forwards, unless there's any comments we should highlight, Ben, about the midfield. Anyone in the audience?
I've
Shooting the
highlighted
answer
a
at this
few
state of the midfield.
as we've gone. Roaming, I don't know what you're saying here. Roaming says, Ben, GPT, create AI. I use it for my footy tips, but it's shit. Yeah, no, don't trust AI for your footy tips.
Don't trust AI.
I don't mind a bit. I know Paul hates AI and others hate it, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not using AI for my footy tips. Don't worry about that, Roaming. Nothing to do with the midfield, Jake.
No,
can I just say
to
one?
be fair, I think Ben's strategy, if you used AI, he'd probably be more productive than his current bullshit
Maybe.
strategies he uses. So
Maybe, but I did beat Paul last year. But anyway, one last thing about the midfield, Jake. I did beat Paul. So what does that say about Paul? Anyway, I don't expect we'll see much of Warple and Atkins at the same centre bounce. Well, not centre bounce. I keep saying centre bounce. Centre ball up. I think they'll just take turns or rotate through. I don't think you're going to see that too many of those combinations this year. But it's great if Atkins needs a bit of a break from that role and has time on the bench. Well, you bring in Warple and you never miss a beat, do you? So. From that point of view, it's going to be pretty good. I do have a question though, Jake, from whatever 14F. How many home games down at the Cattery this year again? Or do your research? No, that's fine. We'll answer that question. I think there's 10 home games at the Cattery. Is that right, guys? Sorry, whatever. Welcome to the channel.
Sounds right to me.
About 10. 10 games. Yep.
Hit the subscribe.
Python Darts is here too. What happened to that pole dancer crew? P.S. Changed my name from Scars HD to this XD. Very good. Pole dancer. If you're new to this channel, you don't know what we're talking about there, but we did have an
Scars.
episode with pole dancers. Anyway, I'm shutting up.
Thought it was Alistair Clarkson on the poll from memory. Forwards. We'll move into the forwards here. Johnny.
Yes.
Geelong, they were the second highest scoring team in 2025. They averaged 104.9 points per game, spearheaded by Jezza Cameron, who snagged 88 goals. Patrick Dangerfield, Sean Manor, Tyson Stengel, Ollie Dempsey, and Shannon Neal all kicked 30 or more. But there are some concerning elements heading into early 2026. Ollie Henry experienced a significant drop-off of form last season. There are injury concerns for Jeremy Cameron and creative wizard Brian Myers. There's some positive shoots popping up with gun youngster Jay Polkinghorne putting his best foot forward in the preseason after a really good opening campaign. For anyone who didn't know, he kicked 30 plus goals in his rookie VFL campaign and won the VFL Best and Fairest. But where are you at, Johnny? What's the temperature check? How are you feeling about Geelong's forward line going into this season?
I'm feeling pretty optimistic about our forward line. I'm not going to.
I'm very aroused.
In a fairly decent position. Like, we've still got Jeremy Cameron. He's still going to be Jeremy Cameron. Shannon Neal's got another year under his belt, another pre-season. Yes, his kick in the air against Carlton was extremely off his usual. Like, it looked like he couldn't hit anything playing against Carlton. Like, it was just all over the place, but he'll clear that up. I really like the look of Jay Polkinghorne. I reckon we're going to see a fair bit of Polkinghorne this year. He really put his, as Jake said, best foot forward, looked competitive, looked like he wanted the ball, wanted the goals. So I expect to see him. The concerns, obviously, is Ollie Henry, to see what he can he get back to his best, because it doesn't feel like he has yet. That pre-season game against Carlton, it just looked like he was trying too hard, trying to do too much. I think he just needs to take a step back, go back to the basics, work on that a bit more, because he just looked too busy, trying to do too much. Jack Martin, I think he's going to be fine up forward as well. He slotted in pretty well last year, and he can play basically anywhere. And then obviously Dangerfield most likely going to play a lot more forward line time. And when he came on the ground against Carlton, it really turned everything around. It just has that impact. So I'm not hugely concerned. I'm a bit more excited, a bit more optimistic. Pretty excited about this young upcoming forward group that we have. Once Tyson Sambo comes back, whenever that is, obviously that's a huge out as well. Also, obviously no Grind Myers for the first game is also another big issue. But I feel like the young guys coming through really feels like they've put their best foot forward, and yet we're ready to step up. We still got Brad Close doing his things, Sean Manor doing his stuff. So I think the Cats forward line is in pretty good shape and looking to the future really positively. So I'm seeing upsides. I'm trying to bend away from the negativity of missing players are out of form. I'm more looking at, we've got these young, exciting players about to burst onto the scene, and I think that's a lot more exciting to look at than the crap that happens on the outside that AFL media likes to shine the light on.
Got an important question for you, John, in the chat from JL. Has anyone heard about Neil's pre-game meal? Now, you're the resident chef, John. So
Yes,
do you know?
I haven't.
Have you got the inside word on that?
I heard he has half a lobster, half a cow, and then 5 milkshakes.
Blue heaven. Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Gets half the cow from
is that
Tom
the
Hawkins,
menu from
and they
Paul's
share a cow.
private box at KP?
Apparently.
I have caramel milkshake, thank you.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Do you think, just whoever has a strong thought on this, jump in. Like, do you think that this opening few games is the exact sort of situation where Warple's presence might benefit us? Because his presence as a midfielder might springboard someone like Sean Manor to maybe spend more time as a dedicated forward, or a player like him who might otherwise be sort of pinch hitting here and there. Like, do you think we've got the depth of players to cover the players who are out?
Well, the Jeremy Cameron one is obviously a huge one. Like, if he ends up being out, and obviously we just discussed it before, but if he ends up being out and maybe missing a couple of games, then obviously I don't think we're going to be able to cover him. Well, I mean, you don't replace an 88 goal kicker, right? Like, it's especially in this current climate. So that one will be hard. But in terms of covering the losses of Grind Myers, in terms of covering the losses of Tyson Stengel and the like at this early stage of the season, it probably is beneficial. I mean, when Ben's sitting here saying, Ollie Dempsey, gun midfielder for the whole season, maybe we can leverage Ollie's strengths in the forward line a bit more while we're a bit down on soldiers. Leverage that skill set down there, and that's where someone like, as you said, James Warple can kind of help. Allow us to shuffle some of those pieces around to support the areas of the field that are maybe struggling a smidge more. So I think there's a lot to that, and it's then just about how we move some of those pieces. And Sean Manor will benefit for sure. He's another one.
Definitely. Yeah.
Who comes in if Cameron's out? Like if worst case scenario, no Grian, no Tyson, no Jezza Cameron, like we sort of feel like there's already players existing in the side that would step up to fill some of that production from Stengel and from Myers. But as far as Jeremy Cameron, that will be a player who comes presumably into the lineup. Like who for each of you, who would it be? You've got to replace Jezza Cameron up forward. Is it someone who's already in the team? Do you throw like Jack Henry forward, or do you give someone else a go? Who would it be for each of you?
Can we do this like Moneyball? Like we replace him in the aggregate. Like I don't think we're allowed to bring in 3 players for one.
We can't mention Moneyball. I got absolutely reamed a few times for bringing up Moneyball in the pod.
We go in with 26 players and make it up that way. I don't know.
I'm just going with Polkinghorne. I think if Cameron's not playing, give Polkinghorne his opportunity. I think he earned it through the pre-season. He looked exciting. He looked really good. He was going for the marks, got a few goals. I think if Cameron's not playing, I think you just chuck in Polkinghorne. Give him an early chance. Give him an early sniff. And see what he can do in a big AFL game.
It's all on Brad Close. Put it on Brad. Come on, Brad. Step up. Step up and kick your 4 goals. Small forward. This Mosquito Brigade or Fleet, they need to step up and just get 12 goals between them. That'll be the way to do it. Maybe Ollie Henry can kick a couple.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Ollie Henry's the one for me. That's not to say that Jay Polkinghorne won't get his opportunity as well. I think the 23rd man on the bench and his good preseason form is absolutely going to help him a bit here. So I think he may well get an opportunity as well. And I think that's going to be important just for depth and options. And, if we are being... if we are, taking on the Suns, and I think about, your Collins and those sorts of guys, and oh no, I've forgotten their other big key defender, it's Mac Andrew,
Big Mac.
Already we're going to be outgunned for height. Shannon Neal will be great in his respect, but then I think anyone that we bring in is going to be a little bit outgunned in that respect. So then it might be about a numbers game, like how many, with at least some height, can we toss in there that will just stretch them and run them a little bit and. I think there could well be a scenario where both, like Ollie, I think comes in as the Jeremy Cameron replacement, but Jay Polkinghorne also gets his opportunity, and then you can kind of shuffle the deck a little bit, and you can play all 3 there for a while alongside Danger. Let's not forget Danger, who's he doesn't have that height, but he basically plays as Jeremy Cameron's arm can attest. He basically plays a full forward role. So.
Don't.
You see, your problem there, Paul, was you thought about the opposition. I don't think about the opposition. I don't give a shit about them.
That was just the example as the first game, but yeah.
There's another team out there? What?
Yeah.
Do you think? I was just thinking too. Like some thoughts that came to my mind are: one, if you bring Ollie Henry in, or you bring Jack Martin in, and I know Jack Martin had an interrupted sort of pre-season himself, but what I like about either of those guys, no disrespect to Polkinghorne, is that Jack Martin, I watched VFL games where he played on the wing, he played on ball, he played half back, he played half forward in the same game.
Yep.
We've seen Ollie Henry deployed in different areas. Like, I think that's the beauty of either of those players is you could bring one of them in, and if it's not working up forward, you send, and Martin's really the one, if he's healthy for me, you move Martin down back and you send one of your backmen forward. The other name, I don't know if this came to your mind, Sambo, was about Mark Blixarves, who spent some significant time in the back end of last year as a forward. He played up forward in that game we went to see against Richmond, and then there were a couple of times during the finals as well where they pulled that lever. So, don't know if anyone else has any confidence in that.
All Australian full forward Mark Blixarves. He's won it everywhere else. Why not? Put him in the goal square. Give him a run. Can't hurt.
Well.
I mean, I know he's fully entrenched in the middle of the ground, but renowned ruckman Sam DeConey could also probably swing a ball. We need some versatility. I know he's really comfortable down there, but that means,
that means That means we could potentially swing renowned midfielder Tom Stewart down back to cover the Koning's
Exactly.
absence.
Grind
Yeah.
Myers, the renowned Ruck as well.
Ben,
he wants
I
to
know
be.
we'd made space here.
Mm,
Exactly.
mm.
I'm trying to think who it was. Was it Sean Manor who had one hit out that he won last season? There was one of those little sort of small forward guys who
Have we lost it?
when you
Someone.
looked at their stats for the year had one hit out one. Ben, we carved out space here for you
Thank
to
you.
vent your spleen in the Ford chat before we rank whether we're shitting our pants or not. And
While
this
we
was
wait
about
for Jake
Brad
to return, do we want to?
Close haters.
Does someone
So
want
I'm
to steer
throwing
the
to
ship?
you here. Take it away.
Sorry, Paul. What were you saying?
Don't tell me. Surely I'm not the one having issues.
No.
No. Do
I
we?
think
Do we need?
everyone's good at my end.
Really?
Yeah, all good.
All right.
I haven't heard Jake in a while.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's coming through clear.
Okay.
All right, the Brad Close haters. We need to have a
I've lost
conversation.
a couple of you. I can't see Paul and I can't see John.
Oh dear.
Chaos.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, that's no good. Can we hear each other though? That's the main thing.
Paul doesn't
can
know
hear
that
everyone.
You've now said that you can't see him.
I can see
I can
and
see
hear everyone.
and hear everyone except Jake's disappeared on my screen.
Oh, okay. That's a bit weird. It's all looks fine for me, but anyway, I don't know what's going on there. Should I keep going?
Go for
Keep
it.
going.
All right. So, yes, as I was saying, we need to have a conversation,
Yeah, rock
people
on.
in the chat and Geelong supporters, because there's too much hate. There's too much shade being thrown at our boy Brad Close lately, and we need to just straighten up a little bit here. And I'm just going to throw some facts at you because I think it's important that we understand what Brad actually does for the football club. If you didn't know, people, Brad was actually second in goal assists in the whole AFL last year. So you want to take Brad out of the side? Great. All right. Who's kicking the ball to Jazz or who's kicking the ball to Shannon Neal? He wasn't far off winning the whole, being number one as well last year. He's the 11th ranked player if you care about fantasy, or not even. It wasn't even fantasy. I think it's kind of some other kind of rating system. But he's the 11th best ranked player at Geelong last year. So clearly, experts know what he's doing. He's the 6th best cat at pressure acts. Take him out of the equation. All right, well, who else is going to step up and do that? He's averaging 24 goal assists. I mean, we talked about him coming second last year, but he's been averaging 24 a year for the past 4 seasons. Take him out of the equation. Who's stepping up for Brad Close? He doesn't miss a game. He's played 24 games a year for the last 5 years. Like, he's durable. He's consistent. He's there every single time. You can't say that about a bunch of other blokes. He barely misses. He's kicking 62% accuracy across his whole bloody career when he's in front of goals. He doesn't miss. We just maybe Brad needs to, we give him the ball a little bit more and tell him to have a couple of shots at goal when Jez is away. Geelong, here's one for you. Geelong wins 83% of the time when Brad has 20 plus or more disposals. He doesn't get 20 plus very often, but Geelong very rarely loses when Brad gets a fair bit of the ball. So Brad is very, very early. We've got to remember this. He's still quite early in his football career. He started in 2020, missed out on that grand final because I think he got bumped for a bloke called Gary Ablett Jr. But yeah, Brad's very early in his journey, and you think he's got levels to go.
Never heard of him.
Never heard of Gary Jr. And here's the last one for you. That's probably not so much about how good Brad is, but the umpires love him. He gets a friendly whistle. He's had a differential of 80 free kicks in his favour in his career. So the umpires do love Brad Close. So anyway, people, just check yourself a little bit when you're hating on Brad Close. He's an absolute star. I want him to get 20 touches a game every week. He doesn't do it that often, but if he can nudge his career average up a little bit, I think it's going to help Geelong in the long run. Anyway, Jake, that's my rant. I just needed to get that off my chest. I'm not liking all the Brad Close hate at the moment, and I need everyone to straighten up a little bit moving forward.
Absolutely. Brad Close is a hugely important player for the Cats, and you just told us exactly why, Ben.
No, I love it. I love it. It's passion. It's commitment. It's defending your player, and we wanted to carve out that time for you. All right, finish us off with the forwards, Ben, with your 1 to 10. Are things clean and dry and good, or are we? Do you need me to pass you some fresh undies under the stall?
Oh, well, it's not too bad. I mean, I'm feeling like there's a movement that almost needs to happen, but I think I can hold on to it. I think the Cats are going to be okay up forward for the year. I'm going to give them. I'll give them a 7 out of 10. I think the big question marks on can Shannon Neal take that next step? I think he can. Gave me a little bit of concern with that knee the other day, but the first match semi looked fantastic, and he's looked great all preseason, really.
Shin. It was a shin.
A shin, yes, it was a shin. So he's fine. He's apparently fine. There's no issues there. He's up and
Not the
about.
knee.
Not the knee.
No
Good to go.
issues.
He's good to go. So look, Jake,
Shin awareness, I think.
Shin
is
awareness.
The technical term.
Shannon. I'm going to 6 or 7 out of 10 on that one. Not a worry, really. Staying away from the bathroom for the time being. I don't know if Jake's picking us up. You got us, Jake.
All right.
Oh, there he is.
Now, my apologies if I'm talking over the top of anyone at the moment. I still can't see John. Yeah, I have. What I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce the Ruck segment. I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to drop out and try and come back into this chat because I think my internet is playing up. I can't see Johnny. I can't see Paul, so I'm worried I'm going to be riding over the top of everyone.
Put up the technical difficulties guy from The Simpsons up on the screen.
This is an area that Geelong actively tried to recruit veteran depth to during the off-season, but they were unable to get a deal done to lure Rowan Marshall down the park. That leaves Reece Stanley to emerge once more from the crypt to lead the Ruck Brigade. Toby Conway is still ailing, and only youngsters Mitch Edwards and Joe Pike are behind him in terms of pure Ruck stocks. Ben, is Geelong's Ruck group its Achilles heel in 2026? Does the Ruck position matter enough in 2026 to be an Achilles heel? And is there an ace up the sleeve on Geelong's list that could miraculously solve their thinness at the position? I defer to you.
Ace up the sleeve. The renowned Ruck, Sam de Koning, is probably that ace up the sleeve, who we don't really believe can do that role. We haven't really seen it. Jake's gone. He'll be back in a sec. But no, I haven't really seen it yet, but I'm optimistic and I'm hopeful, and I feel like he can do it. He's probably another year or two away, but I feel like I can't see Toby Conway making it happen. Mitch Edwards is coming along, definitely. He's definitely showing signs, but let's be honest, he's a long way off it still. I mean, I hope he gets a game early in the season, but he's a mile off it, sadly. So, but who else is there really? The big question, I think, is what are these new ruck rules going to mean for that position in the ground moving forward? Geelong has historically, well, at least in the Reece Stanley era, hasn't really rated the position significantly, and it hasn't really concerned us too much. We've made prelim after prelim and a grand final or two along the way, but there's a big question mark going into 2026 about the importance of rucks. Is it more important or less important? Do we carry 2 instead of 1? If the magical formula is to carry 2 rucks, well, we're screwed because we've barely got half a ruck. So I don't really
have one.
Yeah, exactly. So that I think it's really, really hard to answer the question, and I'll throw to the rest of I'll throw to someone else in a sec, but I don't really know how. I mean, if the rules hadn't changed, I would have said no issues. Let's just keep it rolling. We'll just worry about other parts of the ground and just do a serviceable enough job, and that'll be enough for us. But it's 2026, and there's all these new rules, and I just think it throws it up a little bit. Who wants to go? Sam, do you want to add your thoughts to that?
Yeah, I mean, I've always sort of been okay with the way the Cats just patchwork quilt this whole sort of centre, well, not centre bounce, centre uppies scenario. And
Centre uppies.
That is the
that
new
is
name.
good.
That's the
it
new
right
name.
there.
We've coined it. Here we go. If I add nothing else to this whole podcast, we've at least got
Centre
that.
uppies.
Centre uppies.
That's my value added. So I feel like it's long been the way. So it feels like if I'm going to jump in here and do the defecation scale, I'm going to put us at about a 5. But it's like it's a morning coffee kind of situation where you're gonna shit, but it's part of the plan.
Glad we're describing this shit now. Like,
it's okay. You expect it. It's an expected defecation. So yeah, look, I think we're gonna see a lot of faces roll through there. As Jake mentioned, the obvious fix for our forward line is Mark Blixarves. The obvious fix for our ruck is also Mark Blixarves. So I think we'll be okay.
he's
Yeah, I
our
think-
new Dolly the sheep.
Yep. I think it's just one of those positions that we've always been sitting at that 5. Like Reece Stanley is incredible. He's always been a really, serviceable ruck. He'll never be one of the best, but he's always been there for the Cats when we need him. But you can only rely on a half-walking himself to do so much year in, year out. So yeah, it may not be his best year or whatever, but he's still going to do his absolute best. But yeah, I think we do need to start looking for who's that next ruck that's not SDK, because I don't think we need SDK in the ruck. We need him in the defence where he plays his best. So I think we just douse young Mitch Edwards with a bit of no fear and go, you're going to be our second ruck throughout the year. Go do your best job. You can't do any worse than Reece Stanley, really.
No.
And he can only learn the best.
Love you, Reece.
Not saying that Reece Stanley's
Love
doing
you, Reece.
bad.
2022 Ruckman.
Yeah, 22
Premiership Ruckman.
Premiership Ruckman, absolutely. As I say, but there's only so much Reece Stanley can do.
Yeah,
You
his
know, he's
capacity
always-
is diminished now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's looking like he wants to retire, go to his farm, and just relax.
Just take it
Which
easy.
I feel like,
I reckon there was no more disappointed person that we didn't get Rowan Marshall than Reece Stanley. So I reckon, he was ready to walk off into the sunset, straw
Yep.
hanging out of his mouth, only to go, what the fuck, we didn't get him? Oh,
Shit.
Go around again.
it's the GTA San Andreas.
Oh, shit, here we
knee.
go again.
Yeah. Just
Ben
let him
doesn't know what
retire. It's also the Simpsons meme where Homer's beating up that guy. It's like, stop it, he's already
He's
dead.
already dead.
Already dead.
Oh, poor Reece Stanley. No, I love Reece Stanley. He's going to be a legend for the Cats for what he's done for us, Premiership player. But I do feel like we do need to release him at some point. We've got to release him from this torment at some point.
Yeah. You can't punish him forever. Paul, did you have anything else you wanted to add on that?
No, my shit myself scale for the ruck is at about 7 or 8. So, and not the 5 and the rationale behind the 5 makes a lot of sense because we can see it coming, right? Like we know we can foresee the ruck problems, but I don't know. I think I'm just ready to smash some porcelain at this point and get it over with.
Yeah.
Hey, it could just be one jump, knee-on-knee contact between Reece Stanley and someone else, and that could be it.
But who knows? Like his value could also go up. Like the nature, like how the ruck role is changing. You know, I see the likes of Tristan Sherry and some of those who are a bit more stand and like they're more lumbering sorts. Probably going to come back to the pack a little bit here as those who are a bit more aerial, a bit more mobile. And I know Reece is older, but he's still very mobile. He's still very he's got a good vertical on him. Some of these guys will potentially increase their standing a little bit over the course of the year. So whether that applies to Reece, given his age and stage, I guess remains to be seen. But I think the way the game has changed might be in his favour. That said, if we just want to, well, my final thoughts on all things ruck is Shannon Neal is to never go near the ruck ever again. That was far too close of a call the other day.
Definitely.
Yep.
And he isn't that standard. Like he's a great aerialist when it comes to lead up the ball and jump, but when it comes to the ruck, it's not really the way they're trying to get everyone to ruck these days is not really designed for him. So I don't want to be taking a risk on him.
Yep. I think that's fair. Now, we still haven't got Jake back, but we'll push on with the show as best as we can. We're up to the stonks segment of the show. Now, what's a stonk? Well, it's let me just get my music going here, guys. There we go.
God.
Can we hear that? We're in the
We
we're in the stock exchange now. Sambo and
The
John.
Dolphins are in the background.
Yes, phones are ringing. It's all happening. There's plenty of trades happening.
Plenty of cocaine.
Plenty of cocaine, phones being slammed, and chests being thumped. Sorry, Wolf of Wall Street for anyone who. I can't do it.
It's literally all I know about stocks is the Wolf of Wall Street.
Absolutely.
Anyway, all right.
Copious amounts of drugs and all-time parties.
And Matthew McConaughey.
All-time party. Essentially, this is if you've seen the thumbnail, like buy and sell. Who you buying, who you selling, and I'll jump into Jake's little section here because he's left us some lovely words here. So it's a fresh season, a fresh opportunity to assemble our stonks portfolios. We'll offer up a couple of pieces of stonks advice each here: who to buy, who to stay away from, and maybe who to hold on to if you've got someone on your books that may yet bloom. Now, Jake is he's holding on his Toby Conway stonks at the moment. He's buying in now risks wasted investment because his prospects are honestly looking pretty bleak. But if, like me, you bought up heavily the last couple of seasons, then hold what you've got. We're in it now. There's no value in selling. We might as well hold because what if he does come good? It'll be worth having those stonks from previous years. But the risk to buy in now is too high. You may just be throwing your money in a hole. So just be careful. If you've already got your stonks in Toby Conway, hang on to them. I'm completely in agreement with you on Jake. He's very big on Harley Barker, though. Harley Barker coming off an ACL. He wants everyone to buy up your Harley Barker stonks. It's a perfect stonks storm here. A highly touted player whose draft stonks tanked due to injury. This is a player that Geelong normally wouldn't have access to at their regular position in the draft. The Cats have the luxury to be patient with him and allow his body to get back to its best. And a player of his talent in a system like Geelong's, the sky is the limit. Buy the Harley Bonker. I like that one. Harley Bonker stonks right now.
Harley Stonker.
Harley Bonker. Willy Wonka. Get your Willy Wonka stonks. Once he's on the field, I think he will go to the moon. All Jake's words. I don't know if I disagree with that. Lads, thoughts on Toby Conway and Harley Barker? Where are we at?
But you've been told to answer the phone by a few people in the chat.
I know. I will get to the phone shortly. Don't worry.
The switchboard is just constant. We have been answering all those calls. It's just more calls.
Yeah, I think I agree with Jake on
Likewise,
both. Toby Conway, pretty obvious to hold on his stonks for obvious reasons. Harley Barker, I'll just follow Jake's lead on that since he would know more about those younger players, not in the cat system more than I. So I think he's on to a couple of good ones there.
At what point do we, on the Toby Conway part of it, at what point do we no longer keep buying? What point do we cut that loss? It's a devil's advocate thing, but let's assume for a second that he continues to get plagued with injury. He kind of looks like he gets close, and then something goes wrong again. At what point do we go? Like, how many times have we tried? And he is still very young, so I'm getting very carried away there. But eventually, there's got to be a line, right? Geelong seems really keen to invest, but there is a point.
I suppose the feeling is, can it get much worse? Like from a value point of view, he's not playing. He's not really been able to play. So as far as buying or selling, I suppose that's why Jake's gone for a hold, which I guess agree with. Is there's no, his stock or his stonk? Sorry, is it such a low? There's no real point selling it at this point. So in that way, it's just more about not buying. But yeah, I don't know how long you hold onto the hope of that potential ceiling, because the ceiling could be so high. But the
he's only 22.
the evidence thus far is not good. But I suppose there's no harm in persisting. Like you say, he's only 22, so he's got a bit of runway before we chuck him overboard.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
If he gets his body right, he's got, and let's assume best case scenario from this point, like he gets his body right, he's got 12 plus years of football in him.
Absolutely.
Um,
More
so it's just, yeah,
if he's like Reece Stanley.
Yep.
as in we're trying to retire him, but we can't.
No. That he just keeps on going and going and going.
As in, if he actually manages to step in and take over for Stanley, we will not let him retire for another 25 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think we just got to wait and see what happens. I think the next contract season 2027 is probably that point. It's like, do we continue after that to give him contracts? His body can't. If his body can't work for him by that time, it's a tough one. But sometimes it's just not meant to be.
Yeah, it's a brutal world.
Any
Yes.
thoughts on Harley Barker? And interesting, I didn't realize he's actually from Mount Barker. I didn't know. I was looking him up the other day. I'm like, what?
Barker from Barker.
Or Bonker from Barker.
From Mount Bonker.
Yeah.
Mount Bonker is the place to be. Thoughts on Barker? Are we?
Mount Disappointment.
I have very little thoughts. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So I leave
Same
the
here.
floor open. In Jake, we trust on this one from my point of view.
Save it. Paul,
No, I mean
mate.
there's a Joel Selwood-ish quality to him in terms of the story. I'm not going to talk about the way he plays because we know how that's going for Jai Clark at the moment. But
Future captain.
okay, thanks, Ben. You said that, not me. But in terms of the story, in terms of what he was delivering, he is one of those that, I mean, he slid further in the draft than what Joel Selwood did. But the prevailing theory is that he would have been very close to number 1, number 2 had he not done that ACL in his final year. That's exactly what happened to Harley Barker here. He slid. And I do like having watched some of the footage over the course of the last couple of months of last year. Really, once we started switching into draft mode and looking at some of the different options, and then he ultimately got drafted. You can see some of the qualities in the way he plays, though. I don't want to draw that comparison, but you can see some of those, like some parallels there in terms of that aggression, the willingness to bury his nose at the bottom of the contest. But then he does have wheels as well. He can run. So he fits the profile of what Geelong is looking for as a runner. And then I think if he's got that hard-nosed edge and he's willing to bury himself at the bottom of the contest, that is near on the perfect midfielder in this current game.
Okay. I'm going to throw back to you, Sambo. Let's get your stonks for 2026. Who are you buying? Who are you selling? Who are you holding?
Mine are pretty simple, and they're already based in kind of conversations we've had already in this episode. So I'll keep it pretty brief, and if you guys have things to add, then go for it. But I won't elaborate too much. My first is buying on Shannon Neal. Still, like I think Neal is a dyed-in-the-wool, heart and soul kind of Cats player. Like he really sold me on that last year. That this is a guy that's not only gonna get better and better on the field, but he sort of embodies the culture of the club. I think that the team first aspect of the club comes through in the way he carries himself. But with all of that said, I feel like he's still flying under the radar ever so slightly, and we're already talking about the younger crop a little bit more. We talk about him. Like I don't think it's I don't think he's by any means like a hated player or anything like that. But I just think that his value compared to where it is at the moment, I think his value is higher than in people's approximation, and I think his ceiling is so much further beyond where he's at now too. So I feel like it's kind of a last pre-season or two to jump on Shannon Neal before everybody just knows exactly how good he is. But as I said, I'm by no means saying people don't know who he is specifically. But yeah, I just feel like I'm just still so impressed by the way he acquits himself. And the amount of progress he's had, and I don't think he's anywhere near the end of it. And my second one is just a hold on James Worpel, only because I still don't know where that ceiling is. Unlike kind of the opposite of where Shannon Neal is in terms of I think Shannon Neal's ceiling is so far beyond You buy your stonks now, you get the value.
Yep.
Buying on Warple now, I think you look at Warple in the preseason, and I just didn't get any sense of a great, like a flaw. Like he's not like a bad player. He can't keep up, or he's gonna let the team down, or he doesn't bring anything. But I just don't know. Still, I don't see him at the end of this year being like a headline grabbing kind of like, thank God we've got that guy. I could be wrong. I would like to be wrong, but that's my feelings on Warple at the moment is just hold off a little bit until we see a little bit more evidence start to filter through on what he brings.
Interesting. Any thoughts, guys?
I like it. I agree with Sam. Like I've always been a big Shannon Neal advocate. I've always liked what he's doing, and he's only going to start getting better and better. So absolutely agree there. And agree on James Warple. I'm the same boat as Sam. Just not sure what he's going to bring. So it's sort of that wait and see. Wait and see for a few games. See what he can add to the Cats before we start buying on him.
Johnny, we'll stay with you. Who are you buying and who are you holding?
Well, I'm buying Tanner Bruin after his performance against Carlton in the preseason game. He looked sharp. He looked raring to go. His stonks are obviously going to be at a very low point at the moment due to last year being out of the game for a whole year. Also, the mental toll of what he went through. How is that going to affect everything going for him coming into this season? But what I thought I saw a really focused Tanner Bruin who's going to bring the absolute best to the Cats. So I think at this stage, like his stonks are cheap, right down, buy now before they start skyrocketing. I think they're going to go up pretty high, pretty fast for Tanner Bruin. And I'm just going to hold on Jai Clark. I think we still just need to hold on Jai Clark a bit, see what he can produce this year. I feel like the pressure's gone right off him. I feel like the pressure's lifted. He can now play his way. So let's just see what he can do with a bit less pressure on his shoulders, as Paul alluded to earlier, like comparing to Joel Selwood. We know what that did to Jai Clark. Like the pressure on him by us fans, the Cats, AFL, media, whatever, was a bit extreme. So I just like to hold on him. I think it could be a big year, but just hold. If you got him, hold on to them. If you don't, just hold off a little bit longer.
Absolutely, get your Tanner
But
Bruin
Jai, we look forward to the stand that they're going to build in your honour as well at some point.
and the
Absolutely.
statue
No pressure.
and the medal, the Jai Clark Kaji medal. Any comments on that, or do you want to just jump in, Paul, with your? I'll let you jump ahead of me actually in the running order.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess so. In terms of my buy, I've gone with Jay Polkinghorn. We've spoken about him a little bit throughout this this stream, so probably doesn't come as a surprise to anyone watching. I think the potential is very obvious. He plays well above his size. I mean, he's still a tall bloke, but he's got very sticky hands. He meets the ball at its highest point, which is important when you're not, the key forward to be able to add those few extra centimeters. I'm a big fan of the way he's playing. I'm a big fan of the way he's developing. And it is going to be a tricky one. When we go back to our conversation before about what does this forward line look like in lieu of, Jeremy Cameron potentially not playing. And his biggest obstacle might be Ollie Henry, who is in a very similar situation, playing a very similar role, has a few more runs on the board. Well, he has runs on the board. Obviously, Jay hasn't played an AFL level game yet, but it'll be a fascinating watch over the course of this year and the next few years. But he's showing all the right signs. So I hope that he gets that opportunity. He kind of takes the bull by the horns. As for my hold, look, it's maybe a bit harsh given that he's had a pretty tumultuous 12 months or so. But Jake Cole-Jasny, returning from injury, hopefully, seemingly, but never quite at the moment. It almost feels like at a younger age he's starting to run into some of the obstacles that Cam Guthrie did towards the end there, which is one thing after another. We get a glimmer of hope, and then it gets dashed again. Jake Cole-Jasny. But I just it wasn't a good time in his career, I guess, for these injuries to come along as well. When you get someone like Connor O'Sullivan that comes through and develops like he is, when you get the approach of Geelong's, the whole game style really transform. He is a slower player. He's not the best kick. He's not even super willing to kick it. He'd much rather handball it off. Like there's a few things that have been key pillars of his game that aren't as compatible with the current Geelong model as they once were. And so when you pair that with injuries, you pair that with young blokes who are developing nicely in similar positions of the ground, I think it's going to be a little bit hard for him. And then you can factor in that Tasmania's coming.
True.
And he's a Taswegian. So
just for the devil's advocate argument, I suppose I don't even know if that's correct, but what do you think's holding you from being a sell on him? So, like, where do you see, like, is it mostly brand
because
loyalty?
sell wasn't an option for us.
Oh, really? Damn.
But no,
like,
no,
do you think you are, apart from like a bit of like, he's done so much for us?
No. Look, I would still be in the hold category just because I want to see him get a chance first before
sure.
Because he has offered a lot, and honestly, his 2024 was probably his best season, full stop. But that's unfortunately the last time we've seen him. So if you can kind of recapture that, as much as I don't think his style is as compatible as it once was, I think there's still a place for him. But if he's anywhere off where he was 12 to 18 months ago, then I think he's got a real problem on his hands.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, cool. Yeah,
despite the fact that I'm a fan and he's really grown on me in the last little while, like the last few years, it's a compatibility thing, I think, more than anything else.
Sure. Yeah, no, like, I just appreciate it. For clarity, I'm not saying we should sell. It's just I hadn't really been thinking about him in those terms, and the way you were laying it out, I was like, gosh, yeah, maybe he would be a sell if we could sell. But no, I agree on both of those players. I think you've laid it out really well.
Kerry in the chat says Lawson Humphries is a do not sell. Awesome player. He can kick a ball and take good contested marks at halfback. I think we just give Lawson Humphrey whatever he wants. I think everyone buy up. Lawson will be commanding
Definitely
$1 million before we know it.
People weren't happy with Sam's Warple. A couple of people.
No.
Not really.
Okay.
Just a couple.
Then please use the chat to tell me what he will bring, and then educate me. That's why we have a chat.
That's what the chat's for. That's what the chat's for. I'll do my. I haven't got a sell either because I didn't think it was an option, but I'll go with my buy, and I've kind of suggested this already. But Ollie Dempsey for me. I feel like that guy is going to absolutely explode, and I thought he'd already. I mean, a lot of us thought he'd already surpassed our expectations, but I think he's gonna go stratospheric. Is that the right word, Paul, or someone? Stratospheric. Yeah. Anyway, he's climbing. He's going bonkers. In 2026, I think he's absolutely going to dominate and will become an absolute gun in the midfield. I think that's. I think Geelong. Ben's mic is very loud compared to others. I'm pushing the mic away. There you go. Thank you, Flash Movie Trivia. It's because my voice is so booming and I'm too excited. Ollie Dempsey will go crazy, but my hold is Bailey Smith. I'm definitely not selling some Bailey Smith stock, but I feel like there's a big risk there. I feel like there's a big risk with Bailey. The bubble, he's on the bubble. It might burst if things go wrong. I hope not, because he's an absolute star and he took us to a grand final.
You're not becoming a
few of his teammates, but he's a gun.
You're not becoming a AFL media jaded, are you?
Maybe I am.
Ben, jaded.
I love him, but I don't love him, but I like him, but I just feel like it's going to all blow up at some point. And if Geelong struggles this year, then I think it's going to get real bad. So I don't know. That's where I'm just a bit risk averse. So anyway, thoughts on Ollie Dempsey or Bailey Smith, anyone? And then we'll get to some. We'll finish the show off with some predictions.
I think Ollie Smith. My God, I combined them both. Ollie Dempsey's always a safe buy. Like, I think his potential is basically always more than even what he's showing. So I think that's safe. I guess same question as far as the College Asney one, in terms of if if selling was an option, do you feel so worried about the Smith? Like, again, because our framing device here is stonks. It's not, are they a good player or are they a bad player? Do you think that the value of Smith at the moment, if selling was an option, you would recommend selling because the fallout, like your potential gain from selling Smith stonks right now, if something goes wrong, would be high enough? Or do you think you'd still be a hold? You're just kind of let's wait and see what happens this season.
I think still hold, but it's. I mean, on one hand, I'm saying I'm being risk adverse, but I wouldn't want to give it up just yet because I'm probably not making much sense. I feel like you just got to just stay with it a little bit longer and hope that Geelong continues to perform at the high level that we are performing at. But if we started to see a dip, then I'd be very nervous. I think I'll be climbing into that balcony, having a last packet of chips. That's my Wall Street 2. Sorry if anyone's seen that movie. Walking onto the train tracks. Anyone seen Wall Street 2? Just me. Money never sleeps.
You're absolutely. I haven't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Someone in the chat back me up. Anyway.
Doesn't that star Shia LaBeouf? It's not the best reference, right?
No.
But you were still making like 100% sense. I like digging into this when we're using the framing device of stocks or stonks in terms of we're not saying sell or buy the player. We're talking about selling or buying the value in them. So it wasn't at all that you weren't making sense. I was just interested to know how high you felt that potential crash might be.
Could be disastrous.
I mean, if he crashes, it's an absolute train wreck. It's a disaster.
It's a big loss because his stonks would be still like, even with everything that's gone on, I think his value and his the way people like his esteem is still so high, which goes to show how good of how skilled of a player he is, that he can have all this stuff, and yet in general he's still talked about in a relatively high regard when it comes to football.
You get like that Channel 7 ad that popped up recently. Like,
I didn't see it.
It's a whole promotional thing that they've put together about the year ahead, and Kane Corns is being a dickhead, and Bruce McAvaney's in there. But Bailey Smith is sitting at they're all trying to develop their plan for what the coverage is going to look like for the year. And Bailey Smith is for some reason there, and he starts carrying on like a pork chop and clearly says fuck off, but they censor it, and it's all scripted and planned or whatever. But they're leaning into it because I think the media departments all know that he tracks eyes, and his behavior is engaging and it's interesting whether we agree with it or not. But I think all of it, in terms of a crash, if things go wrong, all of it is set up that if he has a fall, it is going to be an ugly fall. And I hope that's not the case. I hope that the move to Geelong and the land that he's got and the people he's got around him are all that he needs, and we see the worst of it kind of bubbling up when he flips someone off. That's the way he acts out now. Kerry, I do agree. Channel 7's shit. I saw the promo on Twitter.
Heaps of Wall Street chat. I appreciate all the Wall Street chat. Wall Street 2. It's definitely not as good as the original, but it's not too bad. But yeah, stay away from Shia LaBeouf. Jake's doing his best to try and get back in, but I believe there's weather and internet issues where he is, so it could be a little bit tricky.
He's not coming back.
He's not back. He's still with us.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
He's still with us.
He's having his last chips and.
Yeah.
He's
he heard Ben talking about Bailey Smith. Was like, that's it, not coming back here.
I should have said, we're selling Tom Stewart's. No, goodness me. We definitely wouldn't come back if I said that. All right, let's get on to this. Is the fun.
Hang on.
Is he back?
Like Lazarus.
Did he make it? He made it!
That's Jake Botel's music.
You see, I said you weren't coming back, and you're back. I summoned you.
He is back.
Well, we've already gone through your stonks, mate.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well for our predictions that we terribly wrong. But we're right about football, guys. We're right about football.
Yep.
Your timing is perfect, Jake, because we were just about to hit the predictions, and this is the one that we've got to bookmark and come back to later in the year. I'll let you take over though, Jake. Now that you're back in the hot seat.
Oh my God, that might be fraught with danger. I'm already planning. How do I just drive the half hour from where I live to the nearest town so I can record moving forward? My God, it's been terrible. It's been terrible to start the year. The internet out here. All right, so we're gonna do our predictions for 2026. We'll run through. There's about 8 different categories that we're going to predict. We're going to do best and fairest, most goals, most improved, best first year player, round of the season, I'm guessing. Keep an eye on Geelong wins, ladder position, bold prediction, and grand final entertainment. Let's start with best and fairest then. Ben, kick us off.
I have
Who's
no
gonna win
idea
the
what
best
round.
and fairest? This is for the Cats.
Yeah, and I have no idea what round season means. So strike that one out, Jake. I must have
Round season is me at Christmas.
the official pet of the Hoops crew, and it is still official. Pumpkin must have stood on the keyboard and typed some words. And anyway, best and fairest. I'm gonna stick with what I've been talking about. It's Ollie Dempsey by a mile. Ollie Dempsey will take it out this year.
Sambo.
I'm gonna go pretty vanilla. I'm gonna go Max Holmes again.
Ooh, back to
I
back to
think,
back.
Yeah.
Paul.
I'm on the Grind Myers bandwagon. I reckon he's
Nice.
going
I
to
like that.
absolutely explode this year. And I think the thing that like he's been flirting with it for many years. Obviously there was that assist era where he was just like exploding in that regard, but the criticism was that he perhaps wasn't hitting the scoreboard himself as much as he possibly could. Maybe gave away a few opportunities he shouldn't have. I think this year he's going to thread that needle perfectly. He's going to be lacing out plenty of opponents. He's going to get into that launch zone and deliver it from 60 out to people on the lead, 20 out thereabouts, because 40 metres is about his kicking range. But then he's going to get on the scoreboard a lot more himself, and he's been contributing pretty well in that regard. But I'm going to put my chips on Grind. He's going to get it perfect this year.
Gary in the chat says Lawson Humphreys. I like that one, Gary.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Gary must be reading my short list. Johnny, who are you going with?
I'm going very vanilla. I'm going with Max Holmes because he's going to tighten up that kicking. He's going to become that A-tier lister player. He's going to absolutely dominate the best and fairest for the Cats.
I like it. Well, I had a lot of these names on my list. I thought about going vanilla with Holmes. I thought about Dempsey. I thought about Myers. I was literally contemplating Grind Myers as Paul spoke it. I'm going to go with Gary here. Let's just pencil in.
So Gary's
Lawson
chosen
Humphreys.
Brad Close.
Yeah, Lawson.
Gary's
Has he? Oh,
No, Lawson.
I thought Lawson. Oh, thank God. Lawson Humphreys. Lawson Humphreys will be my best and fairest. And I reckon because he's going to spend some time in the midfield, I think that, I don't know. I'm going to go Lawson Humphreys to win best and fairest.
Hey, can I give Gary a shout out while we've got Gary up on the screen? Gary, you're all over the comments on their videos all through the week. Really, really appreciate your engagement with the channel, mate. Just love it. I just thought I'd give you a quick shout out there. Sorry, Jake, to cut you off.
I really thought Ben was about to tell him to piss off the way he started that. He's like, Gary, you're
Gary.
all over our chat.
I think
Pull your head in, Gary.
I think Gary's shut up moment from Ben was the commentary around Brad Close.
Maybe.
Ben going in aggressively to defend Brad Close. That was his big moment there. But no, Gary's fantastic. We love his comments. We love his thoughts.
Love you, Gary.
Absolutely.
Oh, as he
Ben-
tells me to
Ben
shut up
went
in the comment
in.
section.
Ben was
Oh,
just
fantastic.
demonstrating the sort of aggression he wants Brad Close to go in with. You know what I mean? Ben's aggression in going in on Gary to defend Brad Close. That's what Gary wants to see from Brad Close. All right, so we've got best and fairest locked up. I'm going to regret that Lawson Humphreys pick. I just know it.
No, you're not.
Idiot.
No, you're not. He's a
Jake,
rock star.
Top 3.
All right, most goals. Where are we going? We'll do. I'm gonna flip this. I'm gonna what do we call
Thank
it?
you.
Snake order. I'm gonna go first. Then we'll go John. Then Paul. Then Ben. Then Sam. I think that was the order we did it. I'm gonna go.
Sam before Ben.
I'm saying Shannon Neal. I'm going Shannon Neal. I think he kicks the most goals. I think he hits 60. I think Jezza Cameron will miss some games. And I don't know. I just think that maybe we'll have a few guys again go over 30. Maybe a couple of guys go over 40. But I think Shannon Neal gets it done this year. 60 goals, a lower tally. But I think we might see a more even spread. What about you, Johnny?
Just like Sam, you stole my thunder because I'm also going with Shannon Neal. But I'm going with 70 goals.
70. It's a big total. Paul?
No, I can't turn my back on Jeremy Cameron.
It's hard. It is hard to.
Yeah, I do think Shannon Neal's going to develop very, very nicely this year, and I reckon he's more than capable of topping 50. But he'll be like the Jared Roughhead to the Buddy Franklin, Jezza being the Buddy. So I'll give me Jeremy with 70 plus.
I'll just be silly because we're nearly at the end of the show.
Plus for Jez.
Oh, can I jump in? I'm gonna say Patrick Dangerfield.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Oh, how many?
How many?
A low number. I'll say Paddy 53. A bit of a spread of goals this year across all the forwards.
Sambo?
I thought I was going to be so controversial picking Shannon Neal, but it turns out that I'm just in the majority. Yeah. I'm just one of the plebs in the chat tonight. So I think Shannon Neal, but I do think I think maybe 60, maybe he'll push a bit north of 60.
Go 65, Sam.
65, exactly what I thought, John. Exactly, you hit the nail on the head. I think the thing that doesn't hurt, but I think that the thing that will mean that Jeremy Cameron, in my opinion, maybe doesn't kick the most, even though he'll probably be like behind by only like 3 or 4 goals, is that I think he loves to roam, and I think he loves to give him off so much. And I think the further as it gets into his career, I actually think that's going to increase the desire to bring other people in to support teammates, which is already so high. But I do think that, when the pressure was on last year with everyone talking about the ton and everything, he kind of played worse under this kind of I've got to kick goals. And I think he'll just be liberated by having some good teammates around him, a more even spread of goals. He's going to roam all the way up the ground. He's going to give them off. So I just think it'll be his graciousness that keeps Jeremy Cameron from kicking 80 goals or something this year.
Roaming Jezza, just like Roman Bryan.
That's my feeling.
I like it. It's certainly more optimistic than my injury pessimism around
Oh, there we go. We've lost him.
So let's go to most improved. And Sambo, we're snaking. So you're going to lead us off with most improved player for the Chaps.
We're up to?
I've still got Jake, so I don't know what.
I've lost Jake.
Yeah, he's just frozen on my screen.
Same.
Okay, most improved.
He's gone.
Is who we're going with. God, most improved is actually kind of tough. It's probably going to be maybe Lawson. I know it's crazy to think that he could get better, but if he's going to win the best and fairest, which people are saying, then he must be going to get better. So because a lot of the guys that I think are going to really make a name for themselves, like Polkinghorn, who can't be the most improved because he didn't play. So I think I've got to go with Humphreys. Maybe Ollie Dempsey, but Ollie Dempsey improving is kind of scary.
It is. Ben.
Most improved, similar to what Sambo said. You don't think this bloke can get any more, but I'm going to say Ollie Dempsey most improved again. I think he's a star, but he's going to be a superstar this year.
That'll be Paul next.
Yeah, for me,
Paul,
I certainly see your points with both Lawson and Dempsey. I think we are closer to seeing their ceilings. And so I don't know if the jump will be as huge as someone like Jai Clack, as the chat likes to call him, the community likes to call him. I think there we go. Ben Harris has just dropped that exact name in the comment. Yeah, Clack is my pick for this one. Not to say that he's going to suddenly hit the levels that Lawson and Ollie have been performing at, but I think we're going to see a hell of a lot of growth from him this year. So I think if we're talking biggest improver, I think he'll be the one with like the contrast between where he was and where he's at, and we could see some signs late in the season, through the finals even. He got exposed, I think, on the big day, but so did half our squad. So yeah, he's my pick.
Yeah. Nice.
No, I like it.
Jake said his internet says fried itself again, so he's
given
staying out.
But he's gone with O'Shane Mullen. He's gone with
He's
Mullen.
gone with
Oh yeah,
Mullen.
he needs
Yep.
to keep using good. He's using the comments there to fill in the doc for us.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm going with. Who am I going with? This is a tough one because there's a lot. I'm just going to go with a pretty straightforward, simple one. I'm going to go with Shannon Neal.
Yep.
If he's going to be our leading goal
To be
scorer
fair,
this year.
that's a pretty good rationale if you think he's going to be the most goals. That's a
Yeah,
lot. That's a lot of growth, right?
I probably also should have picked Shannon Neely in that case.
Oh, all right.
Uh,
I'll step in for Jake again.
Go
Best
for it. Go for it.
best first year player. Now, Jake's gone with James Warple, which I guess meets the criteria of first year player.
Yep.
I'm not
Best
going to
young
pick.
player.
I'm not going to follow
Best
that.
young player, Sean Manor.
Sean Manor, young. I'm going to go with a young player though. Personally, I'm going to say, and I'm not actually. I'm surprisingly. I know everyone else will probably say this name. I'm not going to say Polkinghorn, even though I'm a big rap for the fella. I reckon Lenny Hoffman's going to come in a bit like Lawson Humphreys did at the back end of the season. I don't think we'll see a lot of him at the start, but keep an eye on Lennox Hoffman, Lenny in the back end. Wait for him to hit the ground running, and he looked great in the preseason. So he's one for me, just to keep a watch on.
I'm going to go with the obvious, easy choice in Polkinghorn.
Technically, second year players both.
Yeah, same. I don't know if it's my turn, but
Yeah, you go.
I mean,
Sam.
Warple's been going around for like year 10, so I think it's more best first year on the in the.
If
the
you haven't
starting
played yet,
23, right?
if you haven't
Yeah.
debuted,
Yeah.
or it's your first year at the club, that kind of thing. Yeah.
yes, I know. I'm going the same, Johnny.
Beautiful.
And I think I'll put mine on Mitch Edwards. I think he's going to come in and actually, his body's going to hold up. I'm firmly of the mind that he'll be kind of that 23rd player, that he's going to get that opportunity to kind of wax a little bit Reece Stanley. Reece can get a bit of a rest. Mitch Edwards can kind of ease his way into it. And I think we're going to see some really good stuff from him.
Oh, and a shout out to Joe Pike's granddad over in England, I think, watches the show. We want Joe to go well this year. Hopefully Joe's watching, but if granddad's watching, g'day, how you going? Hopefully we'll see a bit of Joe run around in the twos and put his best foot forward. Don't think he'll play this year, but you never know. We're shorter from some rucks, so we'll see what happens. I think he's still rookie listed, but I believe he can still play now. Is that right? If you're rookie listed, I don't think you have to wait for a long term. I might be wrong about that. Now, did we miss anyone? Sam, did I miss you, or have I? No, I've covered everyone.
Yep, we're good.
All right, moving on. Best
We're up
round.
to
Season.
round season.
Don't worry about that one.
Round season is
I don't know what that is.
only round numbers. Do you want round 2, 4, 6, 8, 10?
No, what's your favourite number? 3. I don't know. Keep an eye on is the next one we'll go with. Speaking of Grandpa Pike, Jake says keep an eye on Joe Pike if you're watching in the VFL. He's massively transformed his body over the off-season, looks meaner and leaner, and he was thrown to the wolves last year, but I think it will have benefited him in the long run. All the talk is Edwards and Conway, rightfully, but just to keep a little eye on Joe Pike in the VFL ruck. He might have something to offer in 2027. Sam, throw to you. Who are we keeping an eye on?
Well, it's probably really boring, but mine was also Pike, based off of Jake's recommendation, because I tune into obviously Jake's talk on the twos. But I suppose on a slightly different note, because it's pretty vague what we're keeping an eye on them for, and referencing back to my stonk, I am going to be watching Warple with that's the player that I'm going to be keeping an eye on because of the fact that I still don't exactly know how he fits in and performs in this squad. So that's if I can be kind of cheeky and sort of choose 2 players, I guess the young up and comer is Pike, but just a new addition is Warple. Just I'm super curious to see what that is.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Paul, let's go with you.
I'm going to go Ollie Henry. I think he's gonna really turn around that form. And obviously, like I defended him for quite a while last year, but ultimately he ran out of time. And I just think this year he's going to really rebound. I think we saw some really good signs of that in the practice match. I think there's a lot more intent in the way he's playing, a lot more aggression. So yeah, I think he's the one for me.
Nice.
Nice.
John.
I'm just going to jump on Sam's one with James Warple. I think we just keep a close eye on James Warple, see what he adds to this team. I'm same as Sam, very curious to see what he can add and how he works in with that midfield.
All right. Wins and losses for Geelong as we start to wind the show up. How many wins and... Sorry, not losses, but just how many wins and where do we finish on the ladder? Sambo, we'll go back to you.
Can I just ask you to go with someone else for a moment? I'm having a minor technical difficulty. I need to
That's
plug
all right.
something in before I lose battery.
Jump in, Paul.
I think I've got us. I mean, Ben and I did a little thing a few weeks back for summer series, and I think I had us losing 1 game when I went through the fixture. And in a lot of ways, I kind of stand by that, because I think if you just look at the paper, we've got the team to do it. But we know that there's this variability in the game. There's injuries. There's form swings. There's all sorts. So I think I've got us probably winning 16 and finishing 3rd on the ladder.
Jeez. Okay. 16 wins, 3rd. And throwing to John.
I'm going to be pretty much the same as Jake, go 18 wins and finish around 2nd place.
I reckon, and I'll come back to you in a sec, Sam, but I reckon Cat's 17 wins and 3rd. I think I'd like to say 18. I know Paul and I had 21 wins at one point, but yeah, 17 wins.
18 gets you top of the ladder these days.
Most years,
on the last
yeah.
6 years. 17 gets you first in quite a few of them as well. So
Yep.
18 and first then.
Renegade says we'll be top 4
Top of the
again.
ladder.
As I sit here, we will be top 4. Sam.
I'm back. I misjudged how long we would record for and how much battery life my iPad would need. I should have known better. What do we got? We got 17. We got an 18 and a 16. Was that right?
16, 17, 18 so far. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I was going to go 18, but that's boring. So I'm going to go 19 so that
Ooh.
I can get overs.
That's got to be top spot, surely.
Surely.
All right. Got to be
It's a
top.
rough year if you get 19 and someone pips you to the first place.
20 wins and 3rd on the ladder.
Oh, dear. Now, has anyone got the Discord open, the Chaps Chat Cat Discord? Because I did ask the question in the Discord about bold predictions for 2026. Jake,
Let me get there.
I think
I've got some here.
I think I did pin it in the chat as well, of this particular chat. Jake says one of the teams in position 8th, 9th, or 10th will make it all the way through to a prelim. That's a very bold call there, Jake. I do like that one.
Ooh, nice.
Brave.
We've got some from the Discord. So Big Sav 99 says Lawson to win the Brownlow and Jay Polkinghorn to win the Coleman.
Jesus, that's the double up. That's it. If that happens, goodness
That's
gracious
bold.
me.
That's bold.
That's bold.
Should do.
I like here he's also followed up another comment with George Stevens to win the Rising Star,
Yeah,
which would be good considering he deserved the nomination last year and got robbed of that.
absolutely.
Umpires noticed. The umpires rewarded him.
Yeah.
Got a Brownlow vote.
I like Shadoo's one. Geelong to be a middling team.
Very good,
Got
Shadoo.
that, Ben. That's a whack
Very
between
good.
the eyes.
Very good.
Bussy in there also says, I'm predicting a slow start, but then a climb into the top 4 mid-season.
Nice.
Ben also stupidly predicted that there was going to be 0 tech issues for the show tonight.
That was a bold.
On my end, it's gone pretty well. I
Bussy
think.
rightly said, "I doubt that very much," and here we are.
It's gone pretty well as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, sort your
Absolutely.
internet out, Jake, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
All right. My
Um,
bold prediction. I'm just going to jump in.
Yeah, go
I'm
for it.
saying Brisbane are not going to make the grand final this year. They're going
I thought you were
to
going to say in
get bumbled out.
finals.
I was thinking about it,
Hey,
but they're not going to make the grand final.
all right.
Jake's
Yeah.
also in the comments saying, "Oh, good, I can watch the live stream, but it won't let me host."
No, unfortunately not. There you are, Jake. Bang. You are seen. Who hasn't had a go at the bowl prediction yet?
I didn't make one, I guess. I didn't really have one prepared, to be honest. So I'm going to go with the most Sam bold prediction, which makes it probably not that bold of a prediction. I'm going to say Tom Atkins breaks his own tackle record.
I like that one. That is great.
That's a good one.
What am I going to go with?
Benjamin in the
This,
chat. Benjamin Harris
yeah,
in
go
the
on, spell it
chat
for me.
says Geelong to guarantee to lose to Carlton. Yeah, probably. No matter how both teams are going.
And bloody GWS.
Sorry, Paul. You go.
No, you're right. No, it's all right. It bought me some time to think about it. No, I'm going to embrace Kiri's idea a little bit around George Stevens, but I'll dial it back just a smidge. Probably won't win the Rising Star, but he'll finish top 5 in that one because I reckon he'll play at least a dozen for us this year.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
Sean Manor a shoe in for the Rising Star, surely.
Shawnee
Yeah.
Manor.
Absolutely.
Gotta be. He's due. He's due. I'm going to go a little bit silly.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay on the Ollie Dempsey thing again. I'm going to say Ollie Dempsey will see the beginnings of an arm sleeve tattoo. I think he's going to get a whole bunch of religious symbols all up and down. I don't know which arm. I'll go with the right arm. There you go. Real specific there. He's going to get it all tatted up. We'll see the first tat appear in the first half of the year, and by the end of the year, we'll have a little bit
All
more.
of a sudden, he's got a sleeve.
He's got the sleeve. He's going the Swanee. I reckon it's happening. All right, that's the bold prediction. Now the last one. The grand final entertainment. This was fun last year. I had a bit of a listen to one of the shows, the season launch shows from a couple of years ago, where I said pink. The grand final entertainment. Paul, come back to you on that one. Who you can't say your favourite band again. You can't. It's not wish casting. Well, actually, no, you can because Jake's wish casting. So
Jake is wish casting.
Who would you like, Paul? Don't say the Wiggles.
If I could get what I wanted. I take one week off with my family to take them to a gig, and all of a sudden I'm going to the Wiggles. It's like the Ninja Turtles thing. It doesn't take you long, does it? And it turned into a wonderful series of live streams, by the way.
Yep.
If I had what I wanted, I mean, I'm going to see Linkin Park next week. I'd love to see them come out for the grand final as well. But and they did an awesome job at, I think it was the UEFA thing last year. I think it was that they came out for. But I won't get greedy. I'm already getting them once. So in terms of my wish casting, give me the Foo Fighters.
Ooh.
Who we actually get. Watch the AFL do something stupid like give us Andrea Bocelli or something like that. He's already torn up the SCG once. He'll do it to the MCG this time.
Delta Goodrum. No.
She already had her spotlight with Robbie Williams. That's enough of her.
She did. Get her back. Sam?
Oh my God, I am.
You can wish
You have
cast,
no
and you can
idea-
also.
You have no idea how out of touch my musical tastes are. I'm struggling to think of a band I like that's not dead, which makes this really interesting. And I don't know modern artists at all. So I don't know. I'm gonna absolutely steal Paul's because you can't be greedy. So I'll be greedy for us. I'll go Linkin Park.
Nice.
I'd love Linkin Park to do it. But yeah, who they actually do, I would need to have any idea of who's popular, who actually exists right now. Anybody that I actually know is like not famous enough to do the AFL Grand Final.
John, have we asked you yet? I can't remember. Sorry.
Not yet.
Moving
I'm looking at yours, Ben, and I'm absolutely loving it, especially your actual one, because your wish casting one. I'm actually going to see them on Saturday night. So
nice.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm gonna go with the old emo band from the 2000s, My Chemical Romance. Why not?
Oh, very good.
All in to get up as well.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I reckon
then we
that'll be good fun.
get Fall Out Boy.
Falling.
Yeah.
That's Nickelback.
Oh yeah. Jake's
Well,
saying.
people actually,
Jake says, "Don't be surprised if it's another American artist strengthening the US link ahead of the NFL arrival and building on the coattails of Snoop last year. Definitely."
Snoop Doggy Dog Dog.
Jake's bringing far too much common sense to this conversation.
He does
John,
that.
John, you did miss an opportunity here, John, because I know you're a big Eurovision fan. So it could have been one of the finalists in Eurovision that had popped in here as well, or someone like that.
Like the
all right.
people who sang the sauna song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've my wish list, my wish casting. I'll do it. This is in reverse. This is, I think, Hans Zimmer, movie composer Hans Zimmer. I would love to just a little bit of difference there, a bit of Dark Knight or Inception or whatever. Just that kind of stuff. That'd be nice. Interstellar. I think he did Interstellar as well, didn't he?
The Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a bit, get the orchestra out there. That'll be something a bit different. Realistically, someone like The Darkness. I believe in a thing called love. Things like that. So, is that the one you're seeing, Paul, in a few days' time? The Darkness.
I am seeing them on Saturday night, and funnily enough, that is the only song of theirs that I know. I'm really going along with mates to get on the Terps. But it's going to be a good time.
Here we go. Here's a hot...
trust me, when I Believe in a Thing Called Love comes on, I'm going to go nuts. I'm like, yeah, that's my only song.
Do yourself a favour. I'm doing my best Molly Meldrum here. Do yourself a favour. The Darkness, Permission to Land album, their first album. It's an absolute banger.
Yeah,
every single track is a smash. And it's
I'm,
just horribly underrated.
I'm planning to go fairly hard, playing it a lot this week, just to try and learn a bit more of it. Between them on Saturday and then Linkin Park on Tuesday next week, I'm having a big week. It's gonna be good.
Taz is very happy with the Hans Zimmer option there. Guys, that is it. Unfortunately, Jake's not here to send us off into the sunset, but thank you for joining us tonight. We've got through it. It's been a little bit longer than I thought maybe it would have been, but we got through. And hopefully we'll be able to...
More plagued technically than you thought too.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got through it, and hopefully we'll be able to improve and get better week on week. And if we can come together again at some stage through the year or at the end of the year, that'll be fantastic. We'll send Jake off to a 24/7 laundromat with good internet connection in Benalla or something like that. It's probably what to do Jake, if you're listening. Is there one? I don't know. I like Charlie Pride, but he's dead. Who the hell is Charlie Pride? Charlie Puth? I know Charlie Puth. And Jackie says the first two albums of The Darkness are fantastic. Yes, Permission to Land. Put it on your list, everyone. Guys, that's it. Should I do the outro? Jake's
just while we've got a live chat.
Oh, sorry,
just
Paul.
Ben, I texted you about it a little while ago, but can I do a little dodgy promotion here? Not for Hoops Crew content, not for my own content either. I'm just dropping a link for those who are watching live at the moment in the chat there. I've just dropped a link. My wife at the moment is doing a little campaign to kind of support a lot of initiatives around endometriosis. It plagues 1 in 7 women. She's got a pretty serious stage of it. She's actually doing a fantastic job with it these days, and things are looking pretty good. But I think there's more and more education coming out about it at the moment. People are really coming to realize how problematic this disease is. There's a lot of work being done on research, and she's just doing a whole lot of. She's really getting on her bike this month and covering as many kilometers as she can, looking to raise like $1,000 for endometriosis research. So I've just dropped a link there in the chat if anyone's able to. And I'm going to probably promote it a lot through the Paul James show and whenever I get opportunities through Post Game Live. But if anyone's able to do that, I promise I'm not siphoning anything off to go towards new lighting or anything like that. It's all going to a good cause.
Very well said, Paul.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Get around it, people. definitely support that. I'll leave that up for a little bit there as well if people want to click that link. I'll copy that link at least into your browser anyway. Thanks so much for watching and listening, guys. If you like this video, please do us a favor and hit the like button. That really does help with the algorithm. If you're new to the channel, if you like what we're doing, if you like what we're about, and you want to subscribe, that'd be great as well. We are roughly 2,300, something like 2,300 subscribers so far. We're keen to hit 2,500 pretty soon, and then onwards to 3,000 before the end of the year. Building slowly, building the Geelong community up, and there's the Discord there as well, which I think is in the show notes. There's the Discord link, so join that community. I think we're about 50 plus strong at the moment in that community as well. It's always good to have a chat after the live shows and throughout the week as well. So definitely check that out. And if you're listening to us on your favorite podcasting app, give us a 5-star review. Let us know what you like. Even if you don't like something, let us know as well. We appreciate any feedback we can get. Guys, it's been a fun show. I've enjoyed this. I do enjoy a season preview and a season review. Any final thoughts?
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats. We'll see you on the next one, everyone. Take care.